much, or do you even watch the other playoff games? You just wait and see what you have to do,
No, we
when you
watch every.
finally.
I think everyone on the team watches the games. Um, just trying to get a feel for what teams are doing and see which guys are hot and how teams are playing, just to prepare for whoever we may play.
Tristan, because of the way the season ended last year, do you guys feel as you go into this postseason, particularly these first two rounds and the next round, that you're playing a different way, maybe more relaxed, more at ease, as opposed to having that pressure of trying to win a championship for the city?
No, we were at ease last year too. I think at the end of the day, if we just worry about the task at hand and just worry about it game by game and taking care of the business and do what we have to do each game, the success comes. The championship, it comes if you take care of what you got to do, practice, shoot around, day by day. Guys getting treatment, guys taking care of their body. All those little things, you know, helps down the road when you go through a little adversity like we did. So, we got the same mentality we do last year. Let's go out and do our job and play.
Hey, Tristan, what makes you so successful on the offensive boards?
Um, just playing the percentages and just using my motor and just being active and just flying around. Uh, Everyone says offensive rebounding is way harder than defense, but I think it's the opposite because I don't know how Kev does it. Because on the defensive end, he gets every rebound, so I got to try to get my K Love on the other end.
Tyler said earlier that you treat every shot like a missed shot, even when Kyle Korver is out there lighting it up. Is that an appropriate description of how you play?
Of course, you never know. If a guy is hot, maybe that one shot he missed and get the opportunity, we kick it back out to him, and he makes a three and you get an assist. So in the first half, it's sometimes a little tougher to get offensive rebounds just because guys are so fresh and got a lot of energy. What I really lick my chops for is when you get the offensive rebounds at the end of the third quarter, fourth quarter, and that really just sucks the life out of the opponent. You can see it in their face, and especially when you're on the road, it just takes the whole energy out of the arena. That's what I live for.
Tristan, what's Kyle Korver meant to you guys?
Oh, he's been huge. For him, it's just what he's able to do on the offensive end, space the floor, especially for, LeBron and Kyrie and K Love, for them to, go one-on-one and be the great players that they are. But just off the court, just being professional, coming in every day, working. Whether he plays 20 minutes or he plays 10 minutes, he does the same thing, has the same mindset every day. And as a young guy, you look at that and you appreciate that stuff, and you want to kind of mold yourself into being a pro like that.
What does it mean to have, not that you guys aren't hungry, but he's had a taste of it but not gotten to the top?
Yeah.
And to have a veteran like that come in and now be on the brink of doing something special with you guys?
No, we're happy for him. He's always been on the other side doing the exit meeting after we beat the Hawks. So, he's glad he's on the right side this time. So, he's enjoying it, and we're happy for him. And shoot, we're fortunate to have a sharpshooter like that on our side.
Were guys able to get away last couple of days? Were they able to get out of town and go home or else?
This is home. That's where I was. I was here. This is home. The weather was beautiful too. So I think everyone was here and spent time. And the key for this week is just to get rest and kind of just recharge our batteries. So when we do play next week, guys are fresh, flying, and active.
Should you do the versus climber thing again?
Yeah, go on RJ Snapchat to find out.
Yeah, I'm actually going to follow up on that. What's that physical exertion like when you get on that machine? Climb on that?
It's the best machine in the weight room, but it's the one that everyone hates the most just because of works your arms, your legs. It's a full body workout. It's a bad word, but it gets you. It gets us right, and it gets us keeps our heart rate up and gets our conditioning at a high level so that we're ready to play when we do play.
Tristan, at the end of the year, you guys were constantly asked, because of the way things were going, is this team ready for the playoffs? Is this team ready for the playoffs? Why were you guys so confident that when the playoffs came, you would be a completely different team than you were at the end of the year?
It's a long season. Like you guys have been covering this team for the last 3 years. You have your ups and downs. You got times where we're playing at a high level, and there's times where we're not who we are. So at the end of the day, we know the importance of the playoffs. We know that every game counts. So guys punch in the clock and know that that one missed screen or that one rebound that we don't get can cost us the game. So I think guys kind of just turn the switch on and understand the importance. And I think it starts with our coaches, coming in, making sure we're locked in, going over the same plays over and over again, because those repetitions and us kind of ingraining the other team's offense and their schemes, it's going to help us in the long run.
Let me ask you one more about that offensive rebounding. How much of that is positioning while the ball's in the air, or did you presume where that rebound's going to come while it's in flight, or what?
Just watching the ball and watching where guys shoot. If a guy's shooting the shot in the corner, 70% of the missed shots usually come off the other side. 30% hits off the front rim. So just playing the percentages and kind of just studying your teammates' shots throughout the course of the game. For instance, a guy like Channing, if he misses a shot, he has a lot of arc in his shots. So if he misses, it's probably going to be close. JR, his shot's a little bit more, not as much arc as Channing. So if he misses, it might be a little bit more a long rebound. So just understanding your teammates. But I'm hoping they make every shot. But if not, I tell them, don't worry. There's a good chance I'll be able to get that offensive rebound.
Kind of like an off-beaten path type question, but how do you guys come up with your individual handshakes with one another?
It's just we all just go home and maybe sit on the toilet and figure out how we can be creative and make it on social media with the handshakes that the NBA does on their Instagrams. So it's this battle who can have the coolest handshakes.
Who's the ringleader? Do you all come up with them like pairing up to figure out each?
I think
one?
Shump has coordinated most of his handshakes with everyone. I think he's the one that kind of picks it for all the guys that he has a handshake with. So Shump is very creative. You guys could tell.
I don't remember each individual one. That's the thing. I mean, it's not like the same handshake for everyone. Each player has their own spiel.
Because the camera's always rolling, so you don't want to be the one to mess up. So you got to be prepared. There's not much going on in life besides right now, just basketball and handshakes. So I know that's pretty much all we got going on for ourselves during the season.
You guys are undefeated in the playoffs. The Warriors are unbeaten. There's been a discussion over the last few days as to whether or not these games are boring or this is good or bad for basketball. What's your take on that?
I think, the Warriors are getting a lot of credit. They're playing hard, and we are too. I don't think it's boring or nothing like that. I think that, both teams are locked in and understand that, there's a bigger goal, and they just view the competition in front of them as, obstacle they got to get around or a wall they got to push through. So, obviously these other series they're going back and forth, and they're going longer than 4 games, but, there's going to be a time where you're going to go through some adversity and you might drop a game. So you just got to be prepared and be ready to play every night.
Are you going to say at all that the Warriors are less of a focus for you guys this year than they were a year ago, if for no other reason than how the finals ended up?
No, I think we're not even looking at the Warriors. We were looking at Boston, Washington. Before that was Toronto. The most important team that we got to take care of and play against the team in front of us. We can't look past no other team. Everyone is capable of being anyone any night, especially right now. These are all good teams. We've lost to Boston and Washington this year, so these teams are not a cakewalk. Everyone's respected. Everyone knows every team's talented. So we're just looking at it one step at a time, not looking past nobody.
That was every cliche ever taught to you guys, all jammed together in one answer. Well done.
Very good.
When you go out
I know
to
you guys looking for something to write up.
when you go out to dinner though, do fans come up and say, "Can't wait for you to meet the Warriors again"?
No, they're more just like, go Cavs. We love you guys. Can't wait to play in the Q again. Very supportive. So we love them.
In watching the playoffs, though, is there something that stands out when you watch it, whether it be trends around the NBA or teams that have stood out to you?
I think just the little 50-50 balls, the little plays end up, costing teams games or change the whole outcome of games. So that's what I look at, especially for me personally. Just it's the little things, because that's something that that's kind of what I bring to the table in terms of doing things that might not show up in the box score. Diving for a loose ball or switching out on the guard and getting that big stop, keep cutting someone's water off if they've made a couple shots. So, if you watch these games, there's a small little possessions that change the whole outcome of the game. You saw it, against the Spurs yesterday.
Tristan, this team's defensive efficiency has climbed dramatically. What has changed with you guys in terms of now that the postseason's around? Why all of a sudden the defense is playing at an all-time, or one of its best, better than it did when it finished the season?
You gotta give a lot of credit to Coach Longo, going over the plays over and over again. I think if you ask anybody on our team, if we did a pop quiz, I think everybody knows we knew all the Raptors plays, we knew all Indiana's plays, and I think that helps us a lot. And guys did their homework at home on iPads, watching film, watching their matchups to really take that job personal and know that, hey, I'm gonna guard my guy one-on-one, and if he does beat me, I know that I have my help and we're playing on a string. And during the regular season it's a little tough because you might only have, a day, or if it's a back-to-back, 12 hours to prepare for another team. So it's totally different in the playoffs. You get more time to prep and be prepared for your opponent.
Dwayne Casey said after the sweep that you guys look totally different offensively and defensively than what you did during the regular season. So they look the same. Did Toronto and Indiana look the same to you as what you saw during the regular season?
Indiana was playing really well during the end of the season, but what we did was made adjustments and made it tough for Paul George. At the end of the day, we know that if we have him taking 20-plus shots and not really getting guys involved, that's good for us. At the end of the day, we know he's going to score 20, 30, but if we can make his attempts high and kind of just frustrate him, that helps us a lot. With the Raptors, the same thing. We just want to keep the ball out of DeRozan and Kyle Lowry's hands. If you watch during the season, when those guys play out, at all-star level, they're hard to beat. So we were just trying to take, one or two guys out of their comfort zone and make it tough for them the series, and it worked out for us.
So when you say that you knew all their plays, it sounds like you knew it was coming. They didn't really look a whole lot different to you.
They made some adjustments. Go small ball. Norman Powell played well, and PJ, they moved PJ to the 4. So it's a game of chess. But at the end of the day, you know what every team brings to the table. When you play the Cavs, they got the big 3. When you play Toronto, they got Kyle Lowry and DeMar. When you play Washington, they got Beal and John. So it's not like a new guy's coming in through the door and they're changing their whole playbook.
Tristan, what are your thoughts on the Boston-Washington series so far and the way both teams have played so well at home but struggled on the road?
It's a good series. I think it's good for the NBA. I'm enjoying watching it. It's good basketball. They're getting after it, and it's a boxing match. They're both throwing the blows and taking hits. So tonight's going to be a really good game. But we're going to be watching very closely.